Spoilers! 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 What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here. We are going to do a nice little... It's not going to be little. I'm warning you right now. It's not going to be little. We have a hefty chunk to talk about. But here we are to do a nice little spoiler discussion on chapter 248 of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is known as the Battle in the Demon-Infested Shinjuku, in the Uninhabited Demon-Infested Shinjuku, part 20... No, chapter 248, is it part 20? I think part 20. Part 20. We've hit double digits, y'all. We're going to be here for 15 years. But with that being the case, we got a whole lot to talk about, so I don't want to waste too much time. Editing me. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to actually have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. Sorry, of course it didn't work, y'all. I've already been seeing it. Like, admittedly, I did have to wait a little bit. I had a lot going on yesterday, so I couldn't just pop up in the early morning to record this live reaction. I've been seeing the memes. I've been seeing the slander. I've been seeing the disgust and the hatred and all that. Like, I've seen it all. A lot of people are slandering Itadori, but y'all. I did polls. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna even pull up one of the polls I did just to get the Carfax. I think everybody knew. I think the people clowning on Itadori just don't like Itadori because, like, we knew this wasn't gonna work. We knew no universe, reality, dimension, like, any way, shape, or form that we all knew Yuji wasn't gonna get that dub. But let me take a look. I literally did a poll on this to see what would end up happening. Do you think everything will be... No, that's the wrong poll. Let me go further. See, this is what happens when you do so many polls. Thank you guys for participating in the polls. Trust me, I do love it. I need to catch up. I need to catch up and get to all your comments. But with that being the case, let me take a look in a book, Reading Rainbow, to see if I can find it. Gee, it's because the chapter's so far back. Do you want... Like, here's the thing. This isn't the poll I was looking for, but I'll go with this one. It's from 2 weeks ago. So Jujutsu Kaisen fans, let me know. Do you want Yuji to beat Sukuna with Higuruma's blade? Pick a choice and let me know why down below. Out of 2.3 thousand votes, 2,300 votes, 78% of y'all didn't even want it. Like I offered it up if you wanted it. Only 22%. So, like, less than 500, well, maybe a little bit over 500. I'm not mathing that right now. But, like, 500 of y'all wanted it. Out of, like, 2.3 thousand. Like, no one really wanted it to even work. So, like, hop off, my son. You leave him be. He did his darndest, alright? Like, I didn't want it. No one, like, at least no one wanted it unless you were a Sukuna hater. And, like, I'll be real. As a Sukuna slapper myself, I didn't even want it. Like, I'll be real. I would have not been satisfied. I get wanting to get rid of Sukuna. Like, I definitely do, and especially if you find him boring. And, like, I'm going to make a whole video talking about why Sukuna can be perceived as boring, but why, personally, I don't find him all too boring, even though I still think he was and I'm saying was, because there's a high likelihood that, once again, my agendas, they fall, and they fall. New agendas may be open, though, and my current agenda that may have fallen in this chapter may have not actually fallen because of the vagueness of this chapter, but fallen, everything is falling down. So, I did think that Kenny was, keyword was, a more interesting villain than Sukuna overall. But, that being the case, I just have to hold that. But with that being, I still think Sukuna's interesting. But, I also believe that it would have been so dirty. It would have been too dirty to take him out like that. So I'm happy Itadori whiffed. And I do like it's a combination of things. Like, admittedly, I can't fully tell what ends up happening here. And, like, this is something where I'm gonna be interested to see the translations. I can't tell if Sukuna just weaved, because there are little to no motion lines on him. All of these seem to be, like, cross-hatching details. It looks like, I do think he moved, though, because based on the motion that Itadori does, the backswing, I do believe that he just whipped, like, Sukuna just dodged, which makes sense. Like, I don't know why. Once again, anyone who did expect it to work, have you been reading the same manga? So I'm fine that it whiffs. And number 2, I'm fine that it disappears. Once again, the theory of curses persisting or curse techniques persisting after, Never, at least to me, I never bought it, because, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's reliant on you being alive. That's like, I mean, I guess I get it going for a little bit longer, right? Like, hypothetically, say you were riding a bike, and you were to suddenly just, it could be a heart attack, it could be something, you just immediately perish. I guess legally, the bike would continue riding for a little bit afterwards, but, like, without you guiding it, with you suddenly slumping over, the bike would probably just fall. That's the way I see curse techniques. I get why they theorize they could become stronger after death, but, like, come on now. Come on now. I think removing this is fine. I get why people are going to... Like, the one thing I'll admit, if you had to ask me who I thought was going to be more important in the grand scheme of things for JJK, Higuruma or Takaba, when they were both first introduced, I would have 100% said Higuruma. And as much as I do like Takaba and his little character story, I still prefer Higuruma overall as a character. So I am actually genuinely kind of sad that Higuruma just got reduced to a Kamutoke stealer. But, like, at least he got rid of Kamutoke, which would be a very easy win con for Sukuna. And would probably have him play around less, considering Kamutoke is, once again, just swing and a boom. Everyone's lit on fire. Well, not lit on fire. Electrocuted and vaporized. So, like, I'll take it. I'll take it. He still did enough. He took away one of Sukuna's weapons. One of the only ones he had, and now he's going to be forced. Everything Sukuna does, curse technique-wise, is going to be drawing down his curse energy pool. And that's good. Once again, we just don't know what Sukuna's status is in terms of, like, anything. Like, we don't know, does he still have 10 shadows? Well, a lot of people theorize he doesn't. I don't mind if he doesn't. I kind of wish he did, though. We don't know if he has access to domain back. We don't know if his brain is fully healed from the complete refresh of his incarnation. We don't know how much curse energy he has left. Did he get 100% full refresh, or is he still low? His output seems to be lower based on the status of his hand, and I meant to look for that. So we'll see. I'll double check if we can see whether or not his hand has come back. So maybe his output is still low in terms of RCT, so that may still be a lingering issue. We don't know. With that being the case, the blade shatters. Once again, perfectly fine with that. I didn't want Higuruma. I love Higuruma. Did not want him to be responsible for defeating Sukuna, even through Itadori. Even if the original thought I had that this chapter kind of just bang, like just launches off in the face, even if with that idea I wouldn't have wanted Higuruma to have taken down Sukuna, even through Itadori. No. And I know all the Higuruma fans are gonna be like, Pencil, how could you? And to that I say, what are you gonna do to stop me? What you gonna do to stop me? Oh, that's right. Nothing. But with that being I'm kidding. With that being the case, we'll move on to the next page and we'll take a look in a book, Reading Rainbow, to see that Sukuna immediately starts to mink on, bro. He goes boom, 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 and oh yeah. So maybe his RCT output isn't even. I think he's fresh. I think he's just fully fresh because his hand's back. It's fully back, and I can't tell. Maybe the shading is meant to imply that the musculature has grown back, but not like the skin itself, like the muscle and sinews grown back. But I don't know. It looks very clearly here like he just has his hand back, the same hand he just chopped off. Sure, it didn't grow back instantaneously, but like he still just casually regrew it. His RCT output isn't that low, meaning his CE output isn't that low, meaning he probably still does have. You know what this does? It confirms he has enough cursed energy to perform reverse curse technique. Meaning, if he's not even fully refreshed, he's refreshed to a point where he's still 100% lethal. That's not good for our cast. But Sukuna's whole mentality is something that is going to be explored in this chapter, and presumably the next couple. So with that being the case, we see Itadori, he does manage to block a little bit, I'll give him credit, especially considering he was just like staring at his hand. I'll give credit that he pretty much immediately goes into blocking. He holds up his guard, is able to tank a few hits and get knocked away. And very impressive here, too. I'm not sure what happens here. Look, the dismantles are presumably, I'm guessing Sukuna did this, right? Like, he may have taken his upper right arm and his lower left arm and boom, launched both off. And he aims directly. Like, this kind of deletes a video I was making. But I'm probably going to make it anyway, because technically he still doesn't do it this chapter, so your boy's going to have to go into that video anyway. But notably, he goes in these slashes, the reason I say it kind of slaughters the video idea, these slashes, they're overlapping. They're looking dangerous. They look like they're about to take Itadori's dome piece right off. But look at my goat. Look at my boy. Look at my son. Look what he does. Like, he blocks both of them. This is the second he's outright reacting to dismantles. Now, of course, I preface this with the fact that Sukuna is very likely holding back. Like, as much as a Itadori Yuji yucker I am, a Yuji yucker if you will, I can't think. Itadori and Jester, that just sounds wrong. Like, we got Gojo Glazer, we got Sukuna Slopper, we got Kenny Creamer, we got Takaba Toucher, we got Higuruma. I'm not sure if I can say that one, but I've seen it before. A lot of people want Higuruma to Thumper. It's Higuruma, Thumper. Remember Thumper from the movie Bambi? Drop the T. What's that word? Higuruma, Thumper, minus T. There you go. I'm scared. I'm scared, right? That's why I'm doing this. But you do have the Higuruma, Thumper, drop the T's, the Gojo Glazers, the Sukuna Sloppers, the Takaba Toe Touchers, the Kenny Creamers, the Yuta Yuckers. I think again, the Yucker doesn't work. The Okkotsu organization? I don't know. Like nothing goes. Gojo Glazer and Sukuna Slopper. They're just too simple and clean. When you walk out, I'm sorry, but like, I don't know what you would call Yuji, like an Itadori investor, there we go. I got it. An Itadori investor. As big as an Itadori investor as I am, I'm gonna just chalk this up to Sukuna still holding back. And maybe partially, I'm going to put some stock in, a little bit of investment in the idea of, well, maybe Itadori is resistant to the basic stuff because he's one of Sukuna's fingers. Because it doesn't even look like Itadori takes any damage from these. Like, I'll get into this in a second, but like, okay, we'll get into it later. But he doesn't seem to take much damage from these, if any at all. He also deflects some dismantles earlier on, so he may just be built different. He reacts and deflects them. Gojo can never, I'm kidding. But we do get to see that while Sukuna's hand is recovered, it isn't recovered perfectly. Once again, I have no idea what any of this says. But that's the beauty of spoilers, and that's why I'm going to do the review. Because I have no idea what this says, but he is acknowledging the state of his hand right here. But then we see that Sukuna notices. I don't know, something about the tiny characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, whenever they're like a tiny part of a panel, always gets to me. It tickles. But with it being the case, we see that look who's... Yo, I may have to put her on it. No, because he shows up as champion, she doesn't. No, we're gonna have a talk about my daughter soon enough. All right, we're gonna have a long, painful talk about my beloved daughter. But look who showed up, Ui with a blankie. Like I'm presuming that's how his curse technique works. I do not have a blankie, not anywhere near me at least. But like, I'm presuming that's how his curse technique works. Probably something with the waving of the cape that allows, like, teleportation. It's probably, like, you know how, like, in magic tricks, whenever you, like, wave the cape over somebody, and, like, they disappear? Like, I'm assuming it's something like that. That's Uyui's technique. Nice. I'm glad to get confirmation that Uyui's ability is teleportation. Nice. It's been hinted at. It's basically been confirmed for a while now, in a similar vein to Itadori Yuji having blood manipulation. It's basically been confirmed for a while now. But I am happy we do get a solid confirmation of it. And, you know, sure, Higuruma's cooked, but, hey, I mean, Kyoto, I got screen time. More screen time than Miwa. Than Panda. Panda, please show up. Please show up. Sukuna needs to hit somebody with a 4x Black Flash. And I don't want it to be anyone I actually care about. Or even are indifferent to. I need it to be somebody I despise, Panda. So, Panda, it's your turn, buddy. Come on. What are you waiting for? Come be flashed. But with that being the case, sorry, the vitriol got to me for a second. But with it being the case, isn't the Kirara, it's not Kirara, it's Kirara. I don't know why. I think I added the extra ra one time. It's never gone away. But Kirara being the lifter here while Uyui's the teleporter, very, very interesting. Nice. It's nice to give them. I don't think... Is their gender confirmed? I remember they were called he once. And I know a lot of people take the appearance of them from the volume extra as... I don't know enough. I'm going to call them in a similar way that I call Ume them, because I just don't know. I have no concrete idea. But I do like how they're doing something. And I even get why it's specifically Kirara. Remember, their technique... Admittedly, I'm not sure how the marking goes, but I do remember their technique does, like, enforce spacing between things, so maybe they use them in particular because in case a certain someone over here with 4 eyes tries to lunge in, even he would be subject to their technique, and thusly it would allow them for safer escapes. Or maybe they just need a warm body to lift up the not warm bodies. It's probably the latter. Because once again, I just don't understand fully how Kirara... I'm just gonna say Kirara. I'm sorry. If you're annoyed by the extra raw, so am I. I can't help it. It's built into my DNA. But I'm assuming that I just don't know enough about Kirara and their technique in order for that to be the case, and they just need someone to lift. And it can't be Maki. Or like, who else is left? I guess maybe Miwa's too small, because it can't be Kashimo. I think that's it. Like, what? It would have to be like, maybe Momo just left. maybe she left with Gal. No, she's on the building with Mei, I think. So yeah, so who knows? And we do see they just immediately disappear. And Sukuna, I believe I saw in the rough translations that Sukuna attributes this to Gojo's body disappearing, which is nice. A big thing that we, and by we, I mean me and like a lot of other people, I'm kidding, it is we've been wondering is where did his body go? Like, notably, we did leave that battlefield. Like, remember, we are no longer in the location where Gojo versus Sukuna took place. We're still in the uninhabited demon-infested Shinjuku, but we are no longer where that battle took place because there are buildings around it. Remember, Sukuna expanded his domain up to, I believe, if not its maximum size, very big. That's how simple as it goes. He expanded it to very, very big. And thusly, the fact that there are buildings around now goes to show that they left that original area where they were fighting. So, very, very neat. And it explains where Gojo's body went, which I do like. A lot of people, they're... The copium's back. Alright, the copium's back. I've seen it all day. The copium is back, and it's stronger than ever, but I need to remind y'all. Shoko, not only does... I believe I saw in the rough translation, Sukuna confirms here that using RCT on others is only half as effective as using it on yourself. And also, Shoko does not have that much curse energy. And also, we've just never seen her do something like this. Like, ever. Like, that's... Like, remember, Gojo's not even cut in half cleanly. Like, she would have to reattach his arm and his torso and somehow jumpstart his heart, I guess. If he would even come back. Like, his soul is likely gone. Sukuna essentially hard confirms here that Gojo's cooked. And that's fine. I still want him gone. I still need to make that whole in-depth video talking about Gojo being gone and why I want him to stay gone. But, like... Long story short, he's happy. Let him chill in the airport for eternity. With Toji. With Toji. But like, I'm not huffing the Shoko copium right now. Unless she does some like crazy next level thing with like a binding vow and like Utahime does her dancey dance and like buffs Shoko to infinity. And then she like activates a binding vow that enforces all of her curse. Like, this is her last Giga Heal ever. And she, like, Frankenstein monsters Gojo back to life. I don't see the vision. I really don't. Especially considering who shows up this chapter. Maybe if it was 2 people. If it was Shoko and Yuta who were there attempting to resurrect the strongest sorcerer of the modern day, then maybe I'd buy it. But Shoko alone, I just don't see the vision, y'all. I mean, would I be mad if he came back? That's another video for another time. I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, hey, he's back. But I'd be like, hey, he's going to get facial slashed again. So, like, I don't know. Personally, I'm very iffy. I kind of don't want it. Long story short, I kind of don't want it. But we do get to see that Sukuna realizes that, shout outs to everyone who noticed it. I didn't even really address it. Despite having a 3-week break, I didn't really address it. But everyone who called it out was right. Isadori Yuji does, in fact, have reverse curse technique. Which is very, very impressive for Broski. I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, well, Higuruma learned it in 5 seconds. He didn't learn it over the month time skip, though. With multiple RCT users, Higuruma had to learn that on the fly. Because he just wasn't good enough. Sure. Itadori Yuji learned it over the month, but we don't know how long it took him to learn it. Bro just conceptualized the hardest technique, or the hardest generic technique in all of Jujutsu. Teen Gojo, the greatest prodigy to ever prodigy, outside of Higuruma Hiromi himself and Ryomen Sukuna. Even he didn't figure out RCT until he was forced to the brink of death. Itadori Yuji figured it out by being told the concept. Bro heard theory wasn't enough and theorized it. Put respect on my son's name. Y'all been slandering my boy. First y'all begin on, oh, he learned it over the... Well, actually, no. The first thing is, oh, he whiffed on Sukuna. Of course he did. And oh, he had to learn it over the month. Okay, and he learned it. Can your favorite character RCT? Huh? I know a lot of people's favorite character is Yuta, and he can most certainly RCT. But like, I'm trying to think of like a popular character that can the Shiesty Sorcerer RCT? Huh? Can Nanami have RCT? Huh? Can Nobara have RCT? Huh? No, but I'm messing around. Whether being the case, I am happy that Yuji got RCT. Very interested to see how that applies to hypothetical techniques that he has, whether it be his soul technique and or blood manipulation. I'm still putting all of my money in that basket, because you know who doesn't show up? Wait, let me double check before I make this bold behind statement. Let me double check. Let me take a look in a book, reading Rainbow. Hold on, I'm skipping through a whole bunch of character stuff, and that's a big thing that we're going to have to talk about in a second. But hold on, I'm skipping. I'm rolling around at the speed of sound. I got places to go, got to follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, gotta keep moving on. It's full speed ahead, only one way to find out. I gotta keep moving ahead. And I don't see Choso, so I think that man he's not dead. So let's take a vision of what we can see. I need you to take my hand and I'll set you free. Follow me, Yuji has RCT. Trust me, Choso has escaped from the city. That boy did not fire that piercing blood. I'm sorry. Not only can I not sing, the lyrics left my head halfway through. With that being the case, I do think... Oh, wait, I can move this? I could have moved that this entire... What? Man, now I feel bad for the other... Well, golly, you learn something new every day, folks. But I'm proud of my son for learning RCT. Number one, first and foremost, I'm super proud of him for learning RCT. Once again, very interested to see how he applies it to any techniques he has. I feel like we don't, outside of Red, we don't really get too many notable curse technique reversals. That and the gravity engine, the anti-gravity engine. Those are the only two we ever get notable. And like, to be fair, the anti-gravity engine never actually gets a name drop as a curse technique reversal. We infer that based on the name of the technique being anti-gravity engine. We never actually get to see it used properly through RCT. So or at least name dropped as a curse technique reversal. At least I don't I think we get it name dropped as... I need to reread the Yuki fight. It's been a minute since I reread the Yuki fight properly and wasn't just looking at it for panels. I know we get the name dropped against Yuta for the 5 seconds before it even activates. I think it does get confirmed as like our reverse curse technique reversal there. So I'm interested to see how Yuji uses it. It may just be for healing. I'm fine if it's just for healing, but still. And this is a funny part of the chapter for me. I just love how Sukuna's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. This might take a minute. All these sorcerers want work. Let it cook. Let it bake a minute. Cook. Let it bake a minute. Swimming in the money. My crib got a lake of it. Indoor pool. Outdoor pool. And what? I'm sorry. If anyone actually gets the reference to where that song is from, let me know down below. I think that's relatively obscure enough. I haven't referenced my affinity for that artist, like, explicitly, ever. So I wonder if any of y'all not only know the artist where that's from, that I just remixed off of, but also can tell me what song it's from and from what album. If it even is an album. We'll see. But with that being the case, I love how Sukuna, he starts to have a crisis of faith. He's like, I do love it. Like, not only, he does the both sides, he crosses his arms and puts his hands on his hips, which is just so... There's just something so funny about it to me. And I like how even Itadori, who's like super locked in, is about to go in for another punch. Why do I have a rubber band? I have multiple. But I like He's about to go in for another punch and lock right, and he's like, is bro good? And Sukuna just proceeds to have a whole crisis of faith. I've seen loose translations for this. I can't wait to see the actual translations. But I think he's actually like feeling things for like the first time ever. Like bro's actually, like, at least from the translations that I saw, apparently he's actually shocked because he feels a bit of disappointment that Higuruma got. Like, he did it, but he's like, is this the remorse thing? Right here? Right now? Am I feeling that? Ew. Why am I feeling remorse? Ew. Like bro's having a whole crisis of conscience. He's like, but like, my ideology is all about how I don't care. Because love is worthless. Why am I low-key feeling like I don't know. One of my favorite things in and maybe it's because like your boy has the occasional identity crisis every once in a while too. But I love it when characters just have something that happens to them that shakes their faith in their certain ideology, and they just have to sit back and be like, "Wait, what?" Like, is that? Can I spoil Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts 3's been out for 5 years. Well, it's the 17th of the time I'm recording this. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 will be out for 5 years. When did Kingdom Hearts 3 come out? Hold on, let me double check. I know it was January. Come here, you! When did KH3 come out? What was the release date? January 25th. Yay! Never mind, I am off my rocker. 29. So, in 12 days from now, Kingdom Hearts 3 will be 5 years old. Jeez, my mortality is terrifying. But there's a moment in that game where a character has a whole crisis of conscience, and it's my favorite moment in that entire game. Okay, admittedly not my favorite, but it's in like, for that character, it's my favorite moment for them in the entire series, and it's also one of my favorite moments in that entire game. And it's literally just a character having a crisis of conscience, because they're like, I should not be feeling things as I am right now. What? I love how Sukuna goes through that. And he's realizing that ultimately, in a way, he is, I think he doesn't, once again, just based on the Rush translations here, and the Itadori Sukuna looks ugly. I'll save my critiques for the art style for the actual review, because I do have some complaints. There are some images in this chapter that kind of make what, but you know, once again, I couldn't do better. Always remember, whenever I critique art, no, that guy with the pencil could not do better. But with that being the case, with the reference and calling back to Jogo and the feelings that he instilled there and his ideology, Sukuna kind of realizes that ultimately, in one way or another, he's had kind of this one-track mind for eternity. Once again, we don't know how long Sukuna originally lived before he decided to become Fingerman. We just have no context for it. We have no real clue. It may have been 10 years, may have been 20 years, may have been 50 years, may have been 1,000 years. It wasn't 1,000 years, but it may have been 1,000 years. And then he spent a whole bunch of time as Fingers. We don't know if he was conscious during that time period either. We just have no clue. I don't think he was, based on the fact that he, like, freaks out the moment he incarnates into Itadori. But, like, he's had this stalwart ideology. And he's definitely gone through it, right? Like, he's seen countless battles, fought in countless different conflicts, done all these different things. He's been through it all, seen it all, been there, done that. But through all that, this is the first time that his ideology in some way has been affected by another human being, which is something that he never believed was possible. And then he takes a look at Mr. RCT over here, Mr. I'm healing up, give me a second. It's like, huh, now I think about it, I never really thought like this until I incarnated and I shared souls with Broski. You know what? I think this guy he may actually be worth something. He just like me for real. In the sense that I think he literally acknowledges the fact that Itadori Yuji, in spite of all the pain, all the suffering, all the agony that Sukuna put him through, and all the suffering that his life has simply been upwards up until this point, Itadori keeps showing up to work. Bro keeps on clocking in. Best friend after best friend, mentor after mentor, body bag after body bag. Like, no matter what, Itadori keeps clocking in. His mentality and his ideology has, in a strange and twisted way, even if for a much shorter period, has been just as stable as Sukuna's. And Sukuna now realizes that, the only reason I'm able to acknowledge this stuff is because I shared a soul with that guy. We kind of were one person for a minute. Alright. I kind of see the vision. And with that being the case, Itadori Yuji and Ryomen Sukuna stand off. I don't know why no one attacks him here, like not even Yuji. That does feel a little bit weird. But they let him have this whole crisis of conscience, mainly because he's freaking and geeking out. And then my Kenny stocks, no! My Kenny stocks. They're falling into the trash. No, they're depreciating. They're depreciating at massively faster than life values. No, they're disappearing because apparently a byproduct of this, and this is one of my big, like, oh, this just looks ugly. Like I was gonna say this it just looks nasty. I don't like, and I get it's because Sukuna's deformed, but it's not even that. It's just, ooh, something about this. Like, his pectorals seem too small, his abdominals seem too big, the mouth, ooh, his arm, he looks too skinny. Like, there's so many things wrong with this image. I'll go more in depth when the actual chapter's out and I think about it a bit longer. He looks ugly. But regardless of what this is, it is what it is. When it be like that, especially when it be like that. Because what this reveals is that the person inheriting Kenjaku's will isn't anybody that we thought we knew, in the sense that Kenjaku was going to possess or body hop or anything like that. No. Kenny sent the merger over to Megumi Fujiguro, or in this case, Ryomen Sukuna. And now, with this, Ryomen Sukuna now has complete control over whether or not the merger... Ooh, sorry. I got stuck in my eye. But essentially, Sukuna has control on whether or not the merger starts. He is now able to start it at any moment. That was the final rule, the final twist that Kenjaku had. Which essentially does confirm, like, it doesn't hard confirm. Especially considering... Maybe this is the Gojo Glazer transforming to a Jaku Jacker. I hate to say, maybe the copium in me is still coping. Stop it. Maybe the copium in me is still coping real hard. But hypothetically, we don't see Kenny's brain get destroyed. And remember, Kenny is the brain. And like, notably, we don't even see, like, when a certain character shows up later, he doesn't even have any drops of juice on his blade. But of course, that could mean that someone else who also showed up this chapter just ate the brain. So, like, there's that. But I think Kenny genuinely is cooked. Takaba really, like, well, to be fair, Yuta got the dub, which, shouts to my boy Yuta. And the plan worked. But, man, Kenny's just cooked. I guess, ironically enough, down on Yugi, Kenny was kind of sort of a one-fight wonder. Well, I guess Takaba kind of does count as a fight, but I don't know. Kenny's cooked. And, you know, like, once again, I'm fine with that. And like I said, the agendas to be agendas, bro. I was pushing the Jaku Jacker agenda for a minute now. And low-key, until I see, like, his head literally splattered into pieces, I'm gonna still push it. But I've seen a lot of people just say it. And I'll say it here. It's looking. It's 100% looking like Kenny's just cooked and gave his entire plan to Sukuna. He's not going to be around to see it. Kenny himself was just the facilitator. He wasn't actually the one running the program or the final villain or anything like that. Unfort. It'd be like that when it be like that, especially when it be like that. And man, I was really hoping for more Kenny. He went out sad, but like, a lot of JJK characters go out sad. Hope he likes Sukuna. Or, I mean, to be fair, there's still the possibility of the merger, and the merger is clarified, at least from the rough translations I saw, it is clarified to still be Tengen, because it's the merger of Tengen and humanity. So, like, there's still interesting stuff that can go on. But, like I said, I find Sukuna interesting. And I especially like his little crisis of conscience that he has this chapter. But Kenny was infinitely more interesting as a villain to me, dog. His motivation was more interesting. His ideology was more interesting. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I'm going to have to make a video talking about that. Once the chapter comes out, I get the full translations, and I give up hope, essentially. So with that being the case, we see that Sukuna now doesn't just have access to the merger. Presumably this is Tengen, which is kind of funny. It's a little ugly. But Sukuna just eats it. So essentially, whenever he feels like it, he can kind of just go, it's merging time! And then he's going to merger all over everybody. So, that's interesting. Sukuna now is the key to the merger. Which kind of just confirms, even if they beat Sukuna, the merger's probably going to happen. It's fine. I'm interested to see how that goes. But with that being the case, we also see that Kusakabe is not only alive, but so is the Shiesty Sorcerer. But once again, guess who doesn't show up in this entire chapter? Choso. Choso doesn't show up in this entire chapter. Choso's not here. I wonder who could have fired that person. I'm sorry, I'm messing around. But with that being the case, we see that they kind of realize they may just be 1 billion, nonillion, quintillion% cooked now, because Sukuna is obviously able to start the merger at any time. And we see, but that does mean, and I do like how Kusakabe acknowledges here apparently, that the plan did work. So now it's Itadori versus Sukuna. The challenge begins. But psych! He is here without the stitches. So Yuta Okkotsu has arrived. That boy is here to save the day. Oh, I hope he doesn't die. We need the bust, like the Yuta video I made. We need that Yuta. We need him right now. Sukuna's RCT is looking a little bit too good. He may have lost Kamutoke, but he still got that spatial slash on him. It's Yuta. You need to get cooking. Though Yuta pulls up on numerous different levels of demonic timing. Because number one, this does just hard confirm for anyone who was huffing copium that it wasn't base Yuta that one tapped Kenjaku, because we couldn't see his hand that it's just not there. It is not, and we know he very specifically goes, give me every. So like he puts the ring on his left hand. At least I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does. So we get a clear, full, amazing POV shot of his hand. Bro is in base when he one tap Kenny. It'd be like that. Would it be like that? It really wouldn't be like that. What can I say? Like it's over. It's over. Base Yuta. To every, both Yuta fans and Sukuna fans. Y'all eating good. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the craziest thing about this is, not only does Yuta pull up blade draw, I'm not sure what happens here though. Like, I'm not sure if he strikes or something, but we see he apologizes for being late. He pulls up and he immediately gets to work, swinging bar for bar with Sukuna. Sukuna forms a cursed energy blade around his hand, a cursed energy aura, and he clashes with Yuta. But once again, like I mentioned, Yuta's in base. Bro's pulling up on the King of Curses in Base. He's him. Like, I'll admit, he's just, I'm gonna, like, notably, I'll admit, I've definitely come off as a Yuta hater. A lot of y'all 100% believe I am a Yuta hater. I'm not. I was just waiting for Bro to get more feats. Here's the feats. Bro's got it. He's just, like, once again, if he does, like, if he lands a genuine hit on this Sukuna, even if it's very clear this Sukuna is going to be holding back, but bam, he's just him. He is just, I can't, like, there's no more denying it. Before, I was calling people out, like, a lack of evidence. Like, I need some more speed feats. I need some more combat speed feats. He's got them. He's just him. Bro's pulling up on the King of Curses, someone who one-tapped his sensei while at their weakest in base, and genuinely clashing with Sukuna. His katana doesn't break or nothing, and notably, it doesn't even look like Yuta really infused cursed energy into his katana either. He just straight up clashed. He's him. Ain't nothing I can do about that. Shouts to my boy. And speaking of my boy, once again, just to prove that he's in base, he says, Rika, handle my light work. And she immediately comes out this shadow. Bigger than, I think this is the biggest we've seen unmanifested Rika, though. Like, she is massive here. Because her whole palm fits around Sukuna's whole body. Like, golly, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where the chapter ends. The Queen of Curses versus the King of Curses. Now, a couple things. Gege did mention in a external volume, I forget if it was an interview question or a volume statement. There is a statement out there that who's stronger? Sukuna in his prime, in his hand body, or the Queen of Curses Rika? And Gege didn't even play game. He was just like Sukuna. Sukuna. But Gege also said Gojo's the strongest character in the manga. In external materials. So who knows? Maybe Yuta's just about to cook. The only reason I'm so hesitant to let Yuta cook, and I know y'all are going to be like, oh, here he goes, Pencil again, with his Yuta hating it. To each their own. The only reason I'm hesitant is I still feel like it has to be Itadori. I'm fine with Yuta doing a whole bunch of the work, though. Honestly, as long as Itadori gets the final blow, that's fine by me. That's fine by me. But, obviously, amazingly wonderful. Where is she? I'm sick and tired of it, Gege. I'm sick. You're telling me. You mean to tell me that who shows up in the battlefield before my daughter? Who shows up in the battle? This man who was 50 bajillion, a million, quintillion kilometers away. This man shows up before my daughter. Who else shows up before my daughter? Ui and Kirara show up before my daughter. Where's Maki, bro? Like I'm genuinely losing my mind at this point. Like, and trust me, I still see the vision, right? You're just saving Maki for the most W sneak attack this side of the Mississippi. Soul Split Katana takes Sukuna's head, but I don't buy that's happening either. Like, since I'm now so locked in, especially if Kenny's cooked, there goes that entire villain hero dynamic. We're just never gonna get Kenny and Itadori interactions outside their 5-second talk in Shibuya. So if Kenny's genuinely cooked, Sukuna's the only one left in terms of like an antagonist with like actual thoughts and a face and reasoning and ideology and actual ties to our characters. Tengen doesn't care about any of our cast, even if they are conscious, and if they're just the embodiment of all evil once they become a Giga Curse, then that's irrelevant. So I don't know where is she? Like it's like Jogo didn't just get a mention like 2 chapters ago. He got a whole drawing. Jogo showed up before Maki. Where is she? I'm just losing my mind. I'm genuinely going insane. Hakari's shown up. He started his battle. Kirara show up, playing their part. Mei showing up with Bird Strike. Ui showing up with teleportation. Momo has made an appearance in this battle, but Maki's not. There's no more copium I can huff either. There isn't. There's not a single lick, whiff, taste, itty bitty committee. Like, there's nothing I can taste of copium anymore. I can't just say, oh well, she's there with Yuta backing him up just in case the Kenny plan went south. Nope. Yuta's back, looking better than ever. Once again, going bar for bar, band for band. Like they're literally having a band off right now, and Yuta's not losing. Sukuna throw out a band, Yuta also threw out a band. Sukuna threw out another band, and Yuta said, here, forget the bands, have the whole bankroll, and smacked him in the face with a manifested Rika. Yuta's out here cooking. Hakari, he ain't really cooking, but he's out here. Itadori, he's out here cooking. Chiwara out here cooking. Ui out here cooking. Mei out here cooking. Momo, at least she's there. Where is Maki? That's my one thing. My one critique of the chapter. I just want to know where she is. Is she okay? Did she actually go to Africa? Please. I'll make a video talking about it because I need to. But overall, you couldn't tell how much I was freaking and geeking and how excited I am to actually be able to properly review the chapter, not just like headcanon / loose translation my way through the chapter. 100 million, billion, quintillion, nonillion %. Yeah, the chapter's worthy. Come on! The chapter's straight gas. I ain't gonna lie. From Sukuna's identity crisis, to Itadori getting RCT, to the confirmation of where Gojo's body went, and the getting rid of Hikuhuma, and the introduction and confirmation of Uiui's teleportation technique, and the Kirara appearance, and the appearance of Yuta, once again, fully unmanifested Rika popping out, Yuta going band for band with Sukuna and base. All this stuff is crazy, it's nuts, it's boo bonkers. Only thing that I'm sad about, which is just a personal bias thing, and isn't even necessarily a bad thing nor a bad narrative decision, kinda, I don't know, I'll think about that. I'll think about that more. But technically, it isn't. Legally speaking, it isn't. And I shouldn't have expected any more from Yagi. But like, only thing I'm sad about is that Kenny's seemingly 100% confirmed cooked. But maybe not 100% confirmed cooked. And once again, that's just a me thing. Because I really like Kenny, much more than Sukuna. But that's my bias. However, made it all the way to the end of this video. Please leave the Queen's conflict. Leave the Queen's conflict in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a pop-up Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, ad-free content, and more. Some of those, wait, I completely messed up that outro. But you can also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to this very chapter. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays, Red Wolf 4765, Greyhound, and Akid's Void. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Sean, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, Demix LND, and Igneal. And I'd like to give a chunky old thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. And I'd like to give another chunka thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, Idemokami, Yuji and China Doll 09. I'd like to give a hefty thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another giga gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.